Human beings in the present are more than mere social creatures. We are driven by various factors, one of them being stimulation. Humans are very stimulus driven. There are diverse classifications we can dive into, but right now let's just stick to that one about which we are both sure and unsure in a way. That is intuition. So intuition happens to everyone every time almost. So seems like it is going to rain. I feel this medicine can help me feel better. I guess option A is better than option B and whatnot. So there are a lot of examples. But to the extent of my knowledge, there aren't any metrics to go by in case we want to know how impulsive a person is or what percentage of the intuitions can be trusted. The reason I termed intuitions being of both sure and unsure nature is that it varies from person to person. Person A may go for a startup, whereas person B may not. An individual's intuition may lead him to a favorable as well as a non-favorable outcome. It depends person to person how much they trust it. However, that is not what catches my fancy, because that is something common. I've talked earlier about how there are certain mechanisms in our body which can be activated at will. This is a similar topic, but the difference here I want you to note is that it isn't some mechanism which you activate directly into complete accuracy, because each person's intuition is based on a collection of individual experiences. So it is subject to opinion and bias. Still, if one were to burst this bubble of uncertainty surrounding the fact that intuitions are undependable, can an individual gain the ability to reprogram his instinct? What if a human being can accurately redirect his own instinct? I personally am intrigued by the existence of these structures, and this thought, it actually came to me from the very essence of computer programming, which used to be a mandatory subject in high school. While I learned how to code, I had to write certain commands, obviously, and the point at which I would eventually get stuck was when in the program there was an open-ended question. Now, the problem was that a computer system can only respond with the input commands. It can only respond with what I have fed into it. So when faced with an unknown input, it would give out an error message. Let's suppose that in the program, what we had to do is input the name of any fruit, and the computer would respond true or false if it were the name of a fruit or not. But I only programmed two answers, apple and banana, whereas there can be many variations. You could, for example, write a mango. So the system returns an error if something other than these two options is typed. To do away with the problem, the computer responds in an error message. However, this isn't the case with humans. We have this ability to guess. I can say if there wasn't for AI, humans actually are more advanced systems with their own set of shortcomings. So the human program is built in a very unique fashion to scan and recognize patterns and act accordingly. The brain memorizes these set of patterns and classifies them accordingly. Instinct is a byproduct of this storage. It acts as a base for any kind of predictive decision. But if we look at the broader meaning of intuition, it includes situations where we have no previous experience in. How would instinct work in these situations? Well, most people here would do away saying instinct would be wrong here, but let me go ahead. The brain has cognitive recognition, the ability of storing patterns which surround us, even if we are executing a task which is based on a pre-recognized pattern. What if we ignore that our mind intakes the patterns of everything surrounding it? We ignore that fact. If you're able to ride a bicycle by repeatedly trying to paddle and balance, this is the main execution. What you don't realize is the neural network which is making you focus. What is recognizing how simultaneous the action of paddling needs to be. So in every situation, our instinct is working. We are actually drawing tidbits and bits from various patterns which are already stored inside of us. The reason why we are doubtful is that the intuitions are coming from passive patterns. All of them have been subconsciously recorded, and that hazy memory is why we feel unsure. The question to reprogram our instinct. It is possible to the extent of our ability to predict. In case of intuitions with some amount of predictability, you can actually work it through. You can actually predict something and it's more probable to become true. However, it is unreliable in case you have little to no experience in something. The process of rewiring and reprogramming, in my opinion, rests on the base that making reasonable amounts of predictions and processing it is a good way to tune in your brain. How fascinating is psychology if we learn to embrace the minuter parts of it? This is episode 4 of DRISHTIKON. Hope you found it reasonable. This is Kunal Dixit signing off for the day. Thank you everyone.